Welcome back to some more Hypixel Skyblock IRONMAN. Today we have a lot of exciting things to share, but first, I have two things to talk about. A lot of you guys have mentioned in the comments that I've been getting carried in dungeons and I'm not pulling my own weight. There are things I both agree and disagree with and would like to share my thoughts for both sides. Some of you say it's not possible for someone in dragon armor to be clearing floor 5 and 6 without being carried. And I believe this is due to the recent balance changes that have completely redid the fundamentals of dungeons for mid-game players. This being the lifesteal change and the tank healer buff. Previously, it was impossible to survive these later floors without very strong gear and a good class level. However, in the present day with these new buffs, players who stand near a tank take 80% less damage. This is a huge change that allows weaker geared players to complete later floors without dying. This is something we aren't used to, but is actually intended by the Hypixel developers. The downside to this is the tank takes more damage. However, this is where we come into play. The healer has a new ability where they can effectively give supercharged healing to one player they form a tether with. In this case, we tether the tank as he keeps the party alive. Meanwhile, the other 3 players are in charge of dealing as much damage as possible. YouTubers always choose these damage-based classes, which may have set a false example of the idea of dungeon. Every class has a wildly different role. 2 of these classes aren't meant to do damage, healer being one of them, which is why it's okay for me to not deal as much damage, because my role isn't to deal damage, but to keep the tank alive. And as long as I keep the tank alive, the entire party stays alive. Without both of us, there is no way we would have been able to beat floor 5 or 6. But because of how these changes in the new classes work, I don't believe I'm getting carried during boss fights of dungeon runs. However, this is only half the issue. While I don't get carried during boss fights, I absolutely, without a doubt, have been getting carried for the main parts of runs. Due to how healer milestones work, I spend most of the run sitting in a trap waiting for myself to heal up to get milestone 3. This is where the problem is. I don't spend as much time clearing rooms and finding secrets as I should be, and this is where I agree I have been getting carried. The solution I have to this is I will clear rooms with the blood rusher and the rest of the party, keeping them alive for milestones instead of healing myself. Additionally, I will be learning as many of the secret locations as possible. Our next goal is to beat floor 7, however I'm going to force myself to play floor 5 750 times first to unlock the Shadow Assassin chestplate. 750 runs is more than I've done on both my profiles combined, and will spend these runs learning where the secrets are and improving my skill at room clearing and healing my teammate. By doing this, I hope to prevent getting carried in the future, but still allow me to play with anyone from my stream chat, as the entire reason I stream is to play with you guys, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. Now that that's out of the way, here's a more exciting announcement. My texture pack just got an update that is essentially dark mode for Minecraft, featuring a dark-themed menu and inventory, as well as a new crosshair and hotbar. It looks really cool, and if you would like my texture pack, hop into my Discord server and give it a download. Link to that is in the description, as well as in the pinned comment. There is about 150 hours of progress in today's episode. I worked really hard on while taking my break. And this is a very fast-paced, exciting episode, so I hope you enjoy, and thank you all for making this series possible. If you somehow made it to the end of this intro, subscribe, maybe? Just kidding. Unless... Hey, what's going on everyone, and welcome back to episode 23 of our Hypixel Skyblock IRONMAN Let's Play. Today we're actually doing this episode off camera, and man do I have a lot of stuff in this episode for you guys. So as you know, I took a little bit of a break from streaming and uploading for about a week. I think I stopped streaming for about 2 weeks, but it was just to catch up on a whole bunch of stuff. But nonetheless, I kept playing Skyblock, and let me just do /playtime. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I had 200 hours of playtime. I now have 356 hours. And since I wasn't streaming or uploading, well, what was I doing exactly? And what was I doing indeed, we have right here 4 glorious chests and 1 surprise after the chest. Of things I've basically painstakingly grinded out by hand, and it was very, very annoying. Hey, there's a bat behind me. I wonder if we'll get the bat talisman. Oh wait, I already have one. Let me just get him anyways. Okay, well, we're not lucky enough. But today, I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. So in the first chest, right here, we have a netherwort hoe. And the reason I wanted to get a netherwort hoe was, if we look up, I have a netherwort farm. Well, at least a work in progress netherwort farm that I'm trying to get done. However, as you know, the basket of seeds is currently disabled, and the netherwort pouch is, of course, disabled as well because of that. So this farm is nowhere near completed, but at some point I do want to use it as a way to either get money or just level up the netherwort collection and unlock all of the different things inside of that. And the first thing we actually did end up unlocking when I was building the farm is going to end up being the Potion Affinity artifact. So it's crafted just like, oh wait, looks like I'm missing 2 more stacks here. There we go. It's crafted just like this with 4 stacks of enchanted nether wart in a circle around the Potion Affinity ring. And this will now give us a 25% more increase for a grand total of 50% increased duration of when we drink a potion. And lucky for us, I've been saving up a lot of potions. Mainly haste 3 for one of the surprises I'll show you at the end, but also for dungeon potions. I'm not actually sure if they work on dungeon potions or not, but if they do, well, that's a good thing. Otherwise, we'll have them for if we ever need it for something else. So those were the first 2 kind of big surprises that I did. It's mainly just getting Netherwork collection set up and all of that stuff. The third one is a bit more cool, and this is because since Diana is finally our mayor, we're going to be able to go ahead and upgrade our griffin. I'm not actually too sure how to do this. Do I just right click on my griffin with the stone? There we go. To the uncommon rarity, and this is basically going to give it the awesome legendary constitution buff, which is going to give us a permanent regen 5 and strength 7, essentially giving us a lot more strength and regen, which is basically considered like a mini god potion. This pet is now basically the Iron Man version of a god potion, which is really useful when doing especially slayers, because slayers is something I do want to get into. In fact, I want to start taking out Svens to work my way towards a mana flux, because that's going to be super good, as again, we are healer in dungeons. So that's going to be a really good item to have. Now, in this last chest is kind of a big item, and I didn't really get this item on camera because of how long it took me, and I'll explain kind of what I did to get it and how I recommend you getting your own, because, well, it's a Flower of Truth, and this is a really, really nice Flower of Truth, and it's legendary. It's got all of the good enchants. It's got Ultimate Wise 3 on it, and now you may be thinking, how on earth did you get this? Did you just go into a party and have someone, you know, kill golems for you? And yes, that's exactly what I did. And here's how you can do it yourself. Well, and then why I consider this a fair way to actually get it. So as you know, floor 6, just doing runs by yourself and slaying the golems and the giants is actually one of the best ways to get combat XP in the game. If you're not quite able to take out ghosts yet, this is a really, really, really good method. It's about on par with tier 4 and tier 5 revs. Well, I guess tier 5 revs if you can't trade them. But nonetheless, there are people going around in the dungeon hubs that are looking to pay users to sit in a party with them and play floor 6. So what I would recommend you do is, if you're an Iron Man player, this is how you can get your own Flower of Truth, just like I did. Find someone who needs to play these floor 6 runs, and go ahead and offer to sit in the party with them in exchange for them letting you pick up the roses. That way they get their combat XP and they pay you via the roses for the Flower of Truth. This is honestly, I think, one of the easier ways to get the Flower of Truth if you're looking to get your own in Iron Man. And I think it's personally going to help us out a ton, since as you know, I'm getting close to being able to do floor 7, but obviously my gear is not quite ready enough, as you saw in the last episode where we got shredded by Necron and we didn't stand a chance at all. So I've been working extra hard to get my defense up, get my weapons up, my mining skill, all of that stuff, so we have a better chance at taking out floor 7 as fairly as possible. Now, speaking of mining, there's one more thing in this episode that just is kind of crazy, and something that took me over 100 hours of work to do. If I go ahead and do Warp Forge, this is going to the Dwarven Mines Forge, and this is something I've forged by hand that took so much effort, and honestly, this is probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever grinded in Skyblock before. It's a titanium drill. A Iron Man titanium drill. This thing gives a whopping 700 mining speed, unenchanted. This thing took, I don't even know how to explain how long this took to get. I needed a drill engine, a fuel tank, 6 gold plates, 10 refined titanium, and 10 refined mithril. Again, it took about 100 hours of gameplay, which is just absolutely absurd. But I want to go ahead and spend this episode maxing this little drill out here as good as we can possibly get it. Smelting touch, sure, why not? Telekinesis, of course. Experience, yes please. And fortune, yes please. So there we go. We were able to max this out, but we're obviously going to take this one step further, because that's just not enough. That's not enough maxing for us. We're going to go to the hub, and we're actually going to go over here and buy something using bits, since Iron Man is now able to buy cookies. If you look in the bazaar here, we got our own fancy cookie thing. It uses the regular profile's bazaar cookie price, and you can buy your own cookies. But we're going to go ahead into the bishop, go into the enchantments, and we're going to put compact on this. And this is because this drill, we're going to have this drill for basically the rest of our profile's history, because I am not going to bother upgrading it because of how long it took me to get in the first place. So let's go ahead and just kind of chuck compact on this. It's going to be 23 levels, that's fine. And there's one more thing I do want to get, and I want to put the Reforge on it, and we're going to be choosing the Refined Reforge. Now, the reason I'm not going with something like Fleet is because the Refined Reforged gives us, if we go over to Epic, it gets 4% more mining XP and a chance to gain an enchanted block for ores that you mine, and obviously this gets stronger the more, or I guess no, sorry, that's the other enchant, that's Compact I was thinking of. But anyways, we need to find the Reforge Anvil right here. So we can do this, and it costs 10,000 coins to put on our drill. There we go. And this is going to basically semi-max out our drill. Now, obviously, we can put the fuel tank, drill engine, and upgrade module on it, but I'm going to save that for another day. This is basically as good as it's going to get. So we go ahead and go back to the forge here. There is one more thing I have to do, and that is reset my Heart of the Mountain. So I've been doing a lot of mining progress, and I haven't really shown what I've done on this series. So I figured would be the perfect time to just show you, what I've done in this series. So we're going to reset our Heart of the Mountain, which is going to give us all 10 tokens and 600,000 powder. Now, we are level 5, so we can get basically everything we want. So this is the path I'm actually going to choose. We're going to go like this, over here, boom, and we're going to get Sky Mall, and I believe we have one more token left, so we can choose between Goblin Killer and Daily Powder. I'm going to go with Goblin Killer, and the reason for that is because when you kill goblins, there's a chance to get a Goblin Egg, which you can use as fuel to restore your drill. So I basically big brains this and planned this out best I can. So for the Heart of the Mountain upgrades, we're going to put Efficient Miner to level 40 like this, because level 40 is when this perk starts to get good. It basically acts as the mineral armor that you're used to in the different mineral mining events from coal, as it breaks nearby blocks around you. So next thing we're going to do is I'm going to do the math here and see how much we need to get to 1500 mining speed. So I also have a new little friend here, the Mithril Golem, but we're going to put him on hold for now, and we're just going to use the Silverfish because it gives 150 mining speed via the haste. So if I hold the drill, we are looking at 1100 mining speed right now, so I need to put about 20 levels into mining speed. Normally, you don't want to go too high into mining speed with this, but since we're in Glaciite, actually, I'm not even in Glaciite armor. Hold on. Let me get this level 20 and put on my Glaciite armor real quick, because this gives us even more mining speed. There we go. We're at 1620 right now. I do have an end goal of getting to about 20,000, so I think we're going to go ahead and put just a little bit more mining speed. There we go. What are we at right now? 1720. I think that's a decent place to stop. And instead, rather focus on starting to level up our Efficient Miner even more. Another thing we do is get actually Seasoned Miner up, since I do want to level this up a bit. So we're going to go probably to level 20 here. Not to invest too much powder into it, but just to get about 7% more mining XP. Titanium and Sanium is also pretty decent. We'll get this to about level 20 as well. Actually, level 15 seems about right. And now we're going to actually start booking it over to Efficient Miner 60. This is going to be our next goal. Obviously, I'm not going to have enough powder to end up getting there, but we're a decent amount of the way there. I mean, we only need 8 more levels, and we're actually going to arrive all the way there. So we'll send the rest at Luck of the Cave so we can try to get our skill up a little bit. And just a little bit in Mining Fortune for more stuff. There we go. 69 Mithril Powder left. Perfect. But there we go. This is kind of where we're going to be chilling. And there is actually one more thing I did want to do, and that is I have access to my personal compactor now, which makes my joke from yesterday's video completely useless since we have our talismans back again. So let me show you just how absurdly fast this drill mine. Now, keep in mind, I have not actually tested this drill yet, so this is going to be my first experience testing this drill. So let's go ahead, let's find a good place to mine. I think over here by the, this is a good place to go ahead and test it. And let's see how fast we break this. This is actually not that much faster than I'm used to. No, this is really not that much faster than I'm used to. Wow, that's kind of sad. I was really expecting more from this drill, but I guess it doesn't hurt. I mean, it's still a titanium drill, you know what? It's still pretty cool. But like, if we look at our pickaxe, just compare the speed at which we're mining these things. There's that versus, it's like 5% faster, man. I'm actually kind of disappointed in this. But let's go ahead, let's use the ability. How much do we have? 6,800 mining speed. There we go. Alright, so when we actually use our mining speed boost, this is when the drill gets a little bit more obvious on how good it is. And I've heard you apparently don't actually want to break the titanium, you want to break all the blocks around it, and hope your Efficient Miner skill ends up breaking them for you. Oh, there we go, and we're getting our compacts leveled up as well, which is always good stuff. Yeah, there we go. So this is basically our mining, and we are currently mining level 35, almost level 36. So yes, I have been mining a crazy amount, and our skill average is currently 24.5, which is not too bad. But I do want to get it, a little bit higher. So let's go ahead and let's put the Enchanted Mithril in there. And yeah, so Enchanted Mithril is actually a fairly decent way to make money. We made 6,400 coins just in that couple seconds we were mining right there. So this is going to be another one of my main money-making methods inside of my Ironman profile, so we can save up and try to get Necron armor when we're able to take on floor 7. So I guess something we can check out is if I use the Mithril Golem and then I drink my own Haste 3 potion, what is the mining speed we're going to end up getting? Now I think we can get a little bit more, but we have 1720 mining speed plus the, 79 from Mithril Golem, so we're looking at close to 1800 mining speed. This is not that bad, and of course we're going to be getting more Mithril Powder, so this is definitely the way I'm going to be doing it. But enough with mining, I got one more thing for us to do today. I managed to pull off getting a Sharpness 6 book from the enchantment table, and we're going to go ahead and put it on our Livid Dagger. The reason I'm not going to put it on my Flower of Truth is because our Flower is our dungeon weapon, and our Livid Dagger is our out-of-dungeon weapon. So this is going to be good for slaying spiders, wolves, you name it. And we're just going to /AV to open up the Anvil menu here, and boom, boom, Sharpness 6 is going to be a whopping 90 levels. But there we go, look at that. Oh, that looks fancy. We don't have enough levels. I need to get to a 90 here, so there we go. Now we can go ahead and apply the enchantment. Boom, our first tier 6 enchantment going on our Livid Dagger. We actually have a couple new talismans that I want to go ahead and put some Reforges on. So this is going to be the final thing that we actually got to do, but I want to see how much stats we're actually going to end up after this. So if I check which ones have I not reforged, have I really reforged all of these? I thought there was one more that I haven't done yet. Oh yes, the Blood Crest. There we go, I got this at the very end of the Techno event. Actually, I think it's still on for some reason. Yeah, it is. But we need to put some amazing Reforges on these guys because they're awesome. I got the Treasure Talisman when farming the roses because I was getting a bunch of secrets then. Forceful, we'll take it. Then we got what? The Bat Ring. The Bat Ring is pretty cool. I think we want to get... Yeah, let's go with Forceful on this. And then the final one is the Potion Affinity Artifact. Strong, we'll take that. And then... Oh, I didn't do the Blood God Crest. There we go. We need to do this really quick. We need to find the... What is it? Superior is the best one for common talismans. We can actually just click through this until I see it. Come on, any second now. This is going to be the last talisman. Come on, where is it at? Where is it at? Forceful. +4? Wait, why is it +4? It's a common talisman. What? I'm not going to question it. We're just going to go with it. Well, let's throw those in. And let's chuck on our Griffin pet. Where's our wonderful Griffin pet? There we go. And how much damage do we do now to a zombie? Because I'm actually curious because this has been a significant damage upgrade. So let's go ahead. Let's throw on our highest damaging gear, which is this. And let's go test it out against a zombie. So from the back, we got 78,000 damage. That's not too bad. From the front, 39,000 with the Flower of Truth. We need to land a crit, 46,000 with the ability, 46,000 as well. Not too bad for damage-wise. I think that's a little bit better than we were before. One more trick I guess I could show you is if I go ahead and Warp Forge one more time, is we actually have the ability to farm ghosts now. It's really sketchy, and this is not a consistent way we can farm ghosts. But technically, if I sat there long enough, we could pull off getting full Sorrow armor doing this method. Alright, so we need to find one ghost just chilling by himself. I can't have a group of ghosts for this or it's not gonna work. Alright, let's try with this guy. We're gonna teleport over him, and we just gotta mash as fast as we can. There we go, we killed one. Okay, well, I think he had low health, but what I wanted to show you is I can use the Flower of Truth ability to go ahead and start kind of slaying these ghosts. Now, there's obviously too many of them for me to get here, but I can take out ghosts every once in a while, alright? It's kind of like every 3 deaths I get, I can slay one ghost, so it's obviously not the most consistent way to kill them, but we can nonetheless. Another thing that was added is rats. These things are awesome, alright? If you don't have one yet, highly recommend buying them before they become too exclusive, because you can get cheese, which is basically a cheap version of the fuel catalyst. So if you go ahead and take a look, 2 times minion resources for an hour. I use these to get a lot of the diamonds for my titanium drill. I do highly recommend it. Let me think, is there anything else I need to show in today's episode? Ah yes, the final thing is going to be my enchanting levels 36, meaning we have unlocked the Soul Eater enchantment. So whenever we do get around to playing floor 7, we're definitely going to go ahead and grab ourselves a Soul Eater book and slap it on the Flower of Truth, because that's going to be a super good weapon to have. But I think that's just about it for today's episode. I know it was kind of jam-packed, and I was just kind of showing you behind the scenes of this series. I know it's kind of a weird episode. It wasn't really a stream because I didn't have one recorded, but I figured I'd let you guys know what I did on this week off. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, then I'll leave a like on the video. Also, check out that button and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I mean, there's no really reason not to if you want to see more of this series. Anyways, that's enough for me. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.